But you know what? I'm totally okay with that. I think we're going to have absolutely just so much fun together this week as we learn some more about coding and we figure out how can we use coding and technology to make other people's lives all sorts of better. Okay, so we've got a few other people who are going to be joining us as we go, but we're not going to delay too much. Remember that if you have a question or anything like that, you can drop that in the chat. Otherwise, you can put your hand up and let me know that you would like to say something. And that's going to be a big part of the lessons that we do. It's not just going to be me talking to a computer screen, which is what it feels like some of the time, but I want to be able to hear from you and see what you're thinking. And we're going to have lots of fun together. Good to even see some familiar. Okay, so, all right. Okay, so let's have a look. Firstly, I think we need to figure out exactly who I am. And in case you did not know, I am, in fact, Mr. Olsen. But you know what, that's okay. So I'm Mr. Olsen or Mr. O, or for those of you who know me already, Mr. O. You can figure out what that O stands for. In fact, I had someone call me Mr. Oh No and Mr. Ole and Mr. What was the one that I really enjoyed? Oh, it'll come back to me at any time, at some point, I'm sure, during the lesson. So if you have an idea, if you think you know what maybe you want to call me, something that starts with an O, you can go for it. Just don't make it rude. I don't know if there are any rude words with O. Don't think about that now, because now we are going to move on to our very first discussion for the whole week. Okay, I get excited very easily. You'll notice that. And this first question that I have for you to think about and that we're going to discuss isn't what is coding. If you can read, then you would have seen that on the screen. It's not what is coding. It is what are we going to call our little doggy? So you may be able to see this little doggy on the screen now. Here he is, this doggy over here, or she. Maybe let's go with she. We don't know what her name is. And last time we ran a coding club like this, we gave a doggy, I'm going to say this doggy's twin brother, a name, and we called him Dennis. Now we've got this doggy over here, and we've got to give her a name because she's going to be helping us out, walking us through some of the fun coding concepts. I think that's just such a cute little doggy, although I think those glasses are fake. You know what? I don't think those are actually her real glasses. Okay, so what we need to figure out is what should we call our little doggy here, our little coding doggy. What do you think her name should be? Her twin brother's name is Dennis, and that doggy looks just like her, but what do you think her name should be? Okay, I already see, as normal, Kaylee's hand is up. Let's hear some suggestions. Remember, if you want to say something you want to add in, then put your hand up, and then I will unmute you, and then you'll have a chance to say.
So, what about Susie?
Oh, Susie, that's a cool name for a doggy. And it's so great to hear from you again, Kaylee. So happy that you're back. You're going to be able to help the class so much as we go through this. Okay, so we've got our first suggestion, and that is Susie. Does this look like a Susie the dog? Maybe. You know what? Let's keep the lesson going. And whenever you see this doggy pop up, let's keep throwing in names and let's keep trying to decide and figure out what our little doggy should be called. I like how Susie sounds, but let's keep going. All right. So this week, we're going to be focusing in around coding, and we're going to be talking about robots and computers and all sorts of exciting things like that. But my big question for you to start thinking about is, what is coding? Just think about it for now. Don't worry if you don't know the answers. I know that actually some of you may very well know that answer really, really well. I want you to hold on to that for now, because before we get to that, I want to ask all of you here, what languages can you speak? Who can speak English? Yeah, me too. I can speak English relatively well. You know what? I know if I practice, I'll just get better and better and better at English. What other languages can you speak? Oh, I wonder what languages our little doggy, maybe Susie the dog. Well, we're still going to figure out her name. What languages can you speak, though? Let's hear again from Kaylee. Yes, Kaylee, what languages can you speak?
I'm working on my Afrikaans.
Whoa, that's cool. You know what? What's really, really cool about coding is that we're going to be able to code in such a way that could help us to learn a new language. Oh, we might not get onto that this week, but I hope at some point you're going to be able to see that. Otherwise, you can ask me about that and I'll show you how it can help you to learn Afrikaans even better. Afrikaans is quite a challenging language, I think. My mom speaks Afrikaans very, very well. And when she speaks Afrikaans to me, then I can answer in Afrikaans. But she can also speak English. So it's great that we both understand that. Let's just quickly hear, before I carry on with this thought, are there any other languages that anybody can speak? Can anybody speak Sesotho? Or what about Tswana? Or French? Or what other languages are there? Maybe you've made up your own made-up language, or you can speak gibberish. Have you ever heard how gibberish is spoken? You can go, hi the guy, there the gay. That was me saying hi there. It sounded kind of strange, didn't it? You didn't quite understand it. And that is coding is speaking a language to a computer that it understands. So, for example, say that you only spoke English. And then I walked up to you and I said something like, how the guy there, the gay, how the guy, other guy, the you, the gadu. You would look at me and be like, whoa, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? That sounds absolutely crazy, wild, and strange. What is that? You might be very, very confused. You would need to learn how to speak my language in order for us to communicate, or in order for us to speak to each other and maybe even play games together. So when we learn coding, we're learning the right language that we can speak to a computer to get it to do what we want. Oh, that sounds a little a little evil villain kind of thing. Well, you know what? We could use coding for bad things. We could use it for evil. But this week, especially, and I hope your whole lives, I know it's something that I really want to do with my whole life. We're going to look, how can we use technology and coding to help other people, to make the world a better place? And you know what? I know that you guys can do it, but we got to learn a little bit along the way. Or you know what, I've skipped a little bit ahead because I do get excited, but let's maybe hear from some of you guys. If you understand now that coding is getting a computer to do what we want it to do, like the cell phone over here, that's actually an example of a computer. In fact, earlier in the year, we took apart a cell phone together. I think Kaylee was there, and I don't know if anyone else was there who's with us today, but we took it apart, and I thought that was so super fun. So that's an example of a computer. And maybe this boy or girl over here has programmed this phone over here, this computer, to show him a video, or maybe he's in space or something like that. Oh, that's really, really cool. So maybe he's learned how to code so that he can get this computer to do what he wants it to do. So why should we learn coding? Do you have any ideas? Why do you think we should learn coding? Oh, or if you don't think we should learn coding, then let's hear why. Should we learn coding? Shouldn't we learn coding? What should we do? Okay, so remember, if you would like to answer, you can shout out loud to the screen, but I won't be able to hear that. So what you can do is you can put your hand up, or you can write a message in the chat as well. Mommy and Daddy should be there with you, and they can help you with typing something in the chat. So please let me know. Why do you think we should learn coding? Or maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should rather spend our time counting our toes and throwing banana peels at the wall. Does that seem like a better use of time? I don't think so. I mean, that other stuff sounds kind of fun too, but that's certainly not what we're going to be doing together today and this week. Okay, so let's think about it as we go through this. And I do want to hear from you guys. Why should we learn coding? Why should we learn to control computers, whether that computer be a tablet or a laptop or a cell phone? What are some of the things that we can do with it? Okay, keep thinking, and you know what? Let's get your thinking juices started. Okay, so everyone, if you're not standing up already, quickly stand up. That was too slow. Sit down again. Okay, good. Okay, you ready? Now let's stand up quickly. Okay, good. That was some good standing up. Okay, we are going to jump up and down 5 times and then try to say a made up language. Okay, are you ready? We're going to jump up and down 5 times and then say a made up language. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, and jump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay. Has that helped your brain get going just a little bit more? I hope so. I know it's a Monday morning and everyone's still kind of waking up, and I'm already talking about controlling computers and coding while I dream about this stuff. It is so exciting because there are so many things that we can do with coding. It's unbelievable what you can do with coding. I mean, did you guys know this, like past week, there was a helicopter that flew on Mars? Did you know about that? Did you see that video? I should have actually brought that video in. But okay, I see that we can maybe keep moving along with this because we know that we can make games. Do any of you play any games on computers or on cell phones or anything? Does anyone like to play a game? I like to play games on my Xbox with my son, and I like to play games on my computer as well. You know, someone took the time and programmed and coded those games so that when I push something, then a character starts to figure out what games I like to play. Does anyone out there, do any of you like to play games on computers? That could be on your cell phone or maybe even in an arcade. Anyone like to play games? Okay, let's hear. Yes, Kaylee. What games do you like to play, Kaylee?
I like to play computer games and also play PlayStation.
PlayStation. Oh, that does sound very, very cool. And for all of those games that you play, someone had to sit and program and look at their screen and use their keyboard and type and get things wrong and try something else and try to figure out different ways. And it wasn't just one person that made that PlayStation or made those games that you're playing on PlayStation. Probably it was most likely tens, 20s, 30s, even hundreds of people that make those games. Some of the other things that we can do is we can make music. Do you believe me? Do you really think that we can make music? You know what? I believe that we absolutely can make music. Do you want to hear some of the music that I've made? Okay, here's just a little quick one. I hope that you can hear it nicely. So this is a music coding program called Sonic Pi. And this one guy, just one guy, made it, but he also had lots of people help him along the way. And in here, this is what we can type. And these are all instructions for a computer. I don't expect you to understand it. In fact, after I haven't done it for a while, I don't understand it either. But let's hear what that maybe sounds like. Can you hear that? Or if you can hear that, do a little dance. If you can't hear it, then just pretend that you are hearing some great music and do a little dance anyway. So each of these little things over here is an instruction for the computer. It's a way that we can make music. I think that is just so incredibly powerful and cool. So we can make music on a computer using coding. And we could also do things like control robots. Like there are people controlling robots right now on Mars. Whoa, that is absolutely ridiculous. Amazing. Let's have a little look at, we're not going to watch all the video and I'm going to turn the sound off for it. But have a look at this robot over here made by a place called Boston Dynamics, and their jobs, what they do all the time is just try to make these amazing, incredible robots. So this had to be coded and programmed so that it is figuring out how to balance, how to move, how to do all of these things. So we were just going to watch a little bit of this, not a whole lot of it. And if you want to try and dance along with it, you know what? You go ahead and you dance along with it as well. Let's see what it does. It kind of looks like it's breathing. Do you see those flashing little lights? I wonder what those are there for. Does it need flashing lights? Maybe it's just so that other people can see. Hey, it's pointing at me. Did you see that? Oh, whoa. Can you jump that high? Try to jump that high. I think I jumped that high. Oh, and that's quite a cool dance move. Can you do that dance move? And a spin around. Whoa. And if it had fingers, maybe it could click over there. But that's still something that humans can do that robots can't. Whoa, that was a cool jump. Oh, look at him go. Look at him go. Can you do these dance moves? Are you dancing along as well? It's kind of weird without music, isn't it? But it's still pretty amazing. I mean, that's not a puppet. That's not somebody who's, huh? There's another one? Hey, where did that guy come from? Look carefully how they are doing the exact same thing. And then you've got, I think it's called Spot the Dog. If somebody knows, will you correct me on that? If I got that wrong, is it Spot the Dog? That's also able to dance. And look at them. They're all able to do it at the exact same time because somebody coded that. Well, not just one person. This took years and years and years to do. All right, we're just going to watch that much. But if you want to watch more, then you go ahead, you sit down with mommy and daddy and you search Boston Dynamics robots. If you're not sure what that is or you can't remember, then please just do let me know in the chat and then I will mention that again. Okay, so let's move on because now I've got a big question for you, another one that I hope I'm not just going to answer for you again. And that is, well, the question says, what will you do with your powers? And why would I say that? Your powers? Well, because I fully believe that when you can code, it's like you've got superpowers because you can do pretty much. Now, well, that's, completely impossible. If you had shown someone that video of those robots dancing or those games 20 years ago, they would have said, that is impossible. That's just not true. So if you could do absolutely anything with a computer or with a robot, let's think about that, a robot or a computer, then what would you do with it? What would you get your robot or your computer to do? Could it fly you to school in the morning? Could it pick your nose while you're playing games? Well, okay, let's hear, because I'm just coming up with some really bad ideas. Kaylee, yes, what would you want your robot or computer to do?
To clean up the oceans from all the junk that's going into it.
Oh my goodness, yes. You know, Kaylee, that's actually something that we're going to be looking at this week. We're going to be speaking about all that litter and all that rubbish in the oceans. And I live very close to the ocean. This morning when I went outside, I could smell the ocean. I'm here in the Western Cape in the garden route, and it's beautiful. And when I walk with my family along the beach, we see rubbish on the floor in the beach. Have you ever swum in the sea and you've had a packet rub up against you and you went, because you thought it was, a shark or a fish or something like that? I know I have. And we've seen that there are animals and fishies and all things in the ocean that get all of our rubbish, all of our plastic and all these things all wrapped up in them. Oh, and then some of those sea creatures, they even die from that. That is so terribly, terribly sad. But we could help with this. We could make a difference. And I also, this past week, I'm actually going to look for that video later today, and maybe we can watch a little bit of it tomorrow, of a kind of machine. I don't know if it is a robot. I'm going to have to watch again. It's a machine that is able to suck in plastic and get rid of plastic? And what if we made a robot that was able to look at things in the ocean and see, okay, no, this is a fish. I'm not going to throw that away. But then it could see that something else was rubbish and it threw that away. That is an awesome use of your coding powers. That is absolutely brilliant. Very, very cool use for that. Okay, so let's keep going because I want you to keep thinking about that. And what you are going to be able to do today and hopefully coming up for a little bit, you can keep going with it throughout the week if you do want to build in more than just one day, is you are going to have the chance to make a robot. Now you might say, well, how do I make a robot? And I want to ask you the exact same question. I want to say, figure it out. There are so many ways that you could make your very own robot. In the chat right now, I've dropped a file. So for the mummies and daddies, if you want to have this picture that you're seeing on the screen now, and you want to give that to your boys and girls, and they can redesign it and change it in some way and make it special, then you can use that. But as you do this, I want you to think about, what does my robot do? So at the moment, if I just looked at this robot over here, I would say that this robot can maybe go and pick flowers, or maybe this robot is really good at decorating. What else would you make your robot do? Maybe your robot is one that goes in and helps to clean up the oceans and rescue those fish and those seagulls that get hurt by that. That's one that's very close to my heart, and I think it is to yours as well. I would like to show you some other examples of ones that other boys and girls have made. So let's have a look at some. This was from earlier in the year. Oh, by the way, if you missed out on any of these, or you do want to watch some of the things that we did earlier in the year, that is up on our YouTube channel. If you want that link or anything like that, then do let me know. Otherwise, it's also available, I believe, on Miss Zora. I'll take you through that platform a little bit later this week. Okay, so let's have a look. This first one we got over here was done by Blessing, and Blessing wanted their robot to be a police robot that goes and helps and sees when somebody's doing something bad. Then that robot goes and helps out and gets rid of all of the criminal kind of things. It puts people in jail and maybe helps to prevent a lot of crimes. I think that's a great use for a robot, because being a police person, man or woman, well, that's quite a dangerous job, isn't it? Ooh, that could go terribly wrong and be very, very dangerous. Like that. So I love that robot by Blessing. We had this one. This is a robot by Faith. My goodness, can you see how complex and how awesome this robot is? I think that's absolutely amazing. So this is one that Faith made using some straws and things like that. I can't remember what Faith said this robot does. I think that this robot maybe helps Faith to clean her room. And that when you push these different buttons on Faith's robot, then it does all sorts of different things. Maybe it does a dance, or maybe it does mathematics or something else like that. We don't know, but you're going to be able to make your own robot and decide exactly what you want it to do. Here's Jessica's cleaning robot. See, it doesn't need to be a huge robot. In fact, do you know that there are robots being made that are so small that they can go into your blood? What? They can go into your bodies. They're so small. That's a nano kind of robot. Well, this one wouldn't go in our bodies at all, I would hope. But this is a great example of Jessica's cleaning robot. So this robot also just goes around and picks up mess. And I think there's a great trend in that for us of cleaning up, of helping to deal with the mess that we've made. That helps all of us so much. Oh, yes. Before I forget, here are Obakeng's robots. Now, Obakeng went and made lots of robots, some out of some building blocks like that. This one looks really strong. So maybe this one helps to build houses or build massive buildings or something like that. Obakeng also went into a program on a computer and drew and created another robot. these two robots kind of look the same. So maybe this is the prototype, the design for it. And then Oba can use that to make this amazing robot. Here are also two little robots. I think those are so cool. Imagine having those just kind of going around your house and doing some cleaning up and things like that. That would be really, really cool. Okay, so those are some ideas for you to make your very own robot. And when you have done that, when you've made that robot, then please do email me the pictures, or if you're when you're in the lesson tomorrow, you can also drop that in the chat so I have it there, because I would love to be able to show everyone the work that you have done and the thinking that you have done over there. So I've put my email address in the chat over there. If you would like to create your own robot, and I want to say make it because I think that's going to be superly duperly cool, then please make sure that you do send it on to me over there. Okay, so I hope we're all still feeling very good. Let's talk a little bit more about what we are going to do this week. And before I tell you what we're going to do this week, well, I've kind of told you little bits along the way as well. I get a bit too excited. Hey, okay, so what will we do this week? I want to hear from you. What would you like to do this week? You've heard that we're going to be doing some coding. You've seen that we can use coding to make music and make games and make robots. What would you like to do this week? What do you think would be very fun to do in our coding club lessons this week? Think about it. Okay, and let's hear from Kaylee. Once again, yes, Kaylee, what would you like to do this week?
Learn some more about Scratch Junior.
Ah, good. Thank you very much for that, Kaylee. So Kaylee joined us earlier in the year as well, and she's done some already awesome things with coding, and she knows so much about computers. It's really, really cool. And she even knows how to be safe on computers, how to use computers in a very safe way that's good for her and good for everyone else as well. So Kaylee said that she wants to learn more on this program called Scratch Junior and some other things that we can do on Scratch Junior. Oh, well, I'm excited to use that because there are so many things that we can do on Scratch Junior. In fact, let's have a quick little look at one of the things that we did earlier in the year on Scratch Junior. Okay, so let's have a look. This game over here that we made together is called, what is it called again? It was called, there we go, Norma's Adventure. So this is Norma's Adventure over here. I hope that you can see that, because what we do is we click the green flag and there the crab goes, and we click or tap on Norma. Oh, I messed it over there. Let's try again. And then Norma jumps every time when that crab comes along. Whoops. Oh, there we go. And whenever the crab bumps into Norma over here, then the whole game starts again. We can make on Scratch Junior. And what I'll be able to take you through as well is a little bit on how you can get started and where you can get Scratch Junior, because it is so expensive. Did you know that? Did you know that Scratch Junior is so expensive? No, it's not. I'm playing a joke on you. Scratch Junior is 100% absolutely free. And it was coded by these men and women who study coding and do these awesome things. Okay. So also just a very, very cool reminder with this, that when you submit your work for projects like this, like making your own robot, then it would be great if you could maybe take a video if you're making something of that, or if you've got the end one and you want to send photos of that, that would be great, because there might be some prizes involved as well. Did you hear that? There might be some prizes as well as we go through that. Well, there will be some prizes. So now I know that you're really listening, because you've heard that word prize and you've suddenly started thinking, okay, well, now I'm going to get making my robot. So please do think about your robot and what it can do. And as we go throughout the week, we're going to be making lots of projects together on Scratch Junior. And then you're going to be able to take some videos of that as well. And you can send that on to me and send that on to us. And then we can have a look. And as I said, you may have a prize involved with that. So try to think about this last thing, and then we're moving forward, because I know we've been on this slide for a long, long time. Is try to think about how can your coding, how can your robot make the world a better place? Like, I love that thinking from Kaylee, and I know I haven't heard from the rest of you just yet, and that's all right, but I know that you're thinking about this. Try to think, how could this help other people? What are some of the things that other people are going through that they need help with? Okay, so think about that. As we go throughout the week, I'm going to be reminding you all about that. But let's look forward a little bit more. So Kaylee has already said that she wants to learn more about Scratch Junior, and that's something that we're doing over here as well. So what are we going to be doing this week? We're going to be doing some coding and sequencing. That means putting things in the right order. Okay, I think you're going to be quite good at that. Maybe it'll take a little bit of practice, but you'll get there. We are going to be doing some dancing. I don't know if you've picked up on that, but I kind of like to dance whenever we get the opportunity. So we'll see if we can make some more opportunities for that and dance up a storm. We're going to be making trees into chocolate. What? Who put that in there? Was that? Okay, I think this is Susie the dog. We haven't heard other names. Maybe if we hear another name during the week, but maybe Susie the dog put that in there. Make trees into chocolate? I wonder if that's possible. I wonder if we could make a robot that could make trees into chocolate. Wait, that's probably a bad idea. I think we need air and trees more than we need chocolate. Okay, let's revisit that one. We're going to be playing with Scratch Junior, and we are going to be making games along the way. Okay, so I am, as you can hear, and I'm sure you can pick up, I'm really quite excited about all the things that we are going to be able to make together. And remember, I want to be able to hear from you. So if you aren't sure exactly how to put up your hand or anything like that, then remember that you can drop a message into the chat. Otherwise, if you click on, just let me know if you are struggling with that, and then we can help you out with that. All right, so it's not see you tomorrow just yet, because what we are going to do now is I'm going to show you. Now, this is something, if your mummies and daddies aren't with you, then please do give them a call and say, Mommy, Daddy, or whatever you do, call mommy and daddy. Give them a shout and let them know that you're going to need a little bit of help with getting Scratch Junior installed. So if you've already got Scratch Junior installed, then that's absolutely brilliant. Just look carefully, because maybe you've missed a little something along the way, and listen carefully, because this is a really, really cool program. Okay, so Scratch Junior is available, and you can use it on pretty much any device. So if you are sitting with a laptop at the moment, or if you're sitting at a desktop where the computer is kind of to the side of the screen, or if you're on a phone or an iPhone or whatever it might be, there is a space for it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at Miss Zora over here. So this is the platform that we're going to be using. This is an absolutely amazing platform that as you grow up and as you learn to code, I think you're actually going to help to shape it and change it and make it even more exciting. What's very, very cool about this, moms and dads especially, is that if you guys are out and about and everyone's sitting and feeling a little bit bored, and you want to be able to use this platform, then you can go and jump on here, and it's not going to use up all of your data. So what you are going to do, moms and dads, this is one of the ways that you can get started in this program and get Scratch Junior without all of the download data costs of it. Specifically, if you are on a desktop or a laptop computer, you're going to be able to sign up, fill in all of your details, and then after you have done that and confirmed your email address and blah, 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 then you are going to be able to log in. Once you log in here, you're going to be able to see videos. These are previous videos that we've had. We've got Misora blocks as well. That's as you get older. And if you're starting to read and understand reading, then you can jump in here on Misora. And especially if you use Scratch Junior a bit, then this Miss Zora Blocks is absolutely brilliant. You can start to play around in there. Ooh, we've also got some games over here. I'm not going to show those to you. You can discover those. You can play around with those. If you go down to this button over here that says About Zora Blocks, and you click on that, then it says Unleash Your Creativity and all sorts of exciting things. So we recommend Scratch Junior for ages 5 to 7. That's you, boys and girls. You can download Scratch Junior for free on Windows. So if you click on this, then that'll take you to a download. Or actually, this is, I believe, yeah, this will take you. Okay, I think that link isn't working just at the moment. If you're struggling with downloading it, then please do let me know. I'll help you on the Windows side of that. Otherwise, it is on Mac and Android. And for those, so if mom and dad have an iPhone or an Android phone, then please go to the App Store, either of those, and all you do is you search Scratch Junior. And when you search Scratch Junior, you should see it pop up over there, and then you can install it nice and easily. And that's a really, really great platform. You're going to see it looks a little something like this. You've seen a little bit of it already. Once you've downloaded it, there are going to be some differences because I'm using the desktop version, but you'll see it's going to ask you if you're at school, if you're at home, and blah, 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 blah. Really, what you're looking for is this home button. And from here, this is where you're going to be able to see your projects, create new projects, and do all sorts of exciting things like that. Okay, so let's just do a quick recap of what we've said so far this morning, because I know I talk pretty quickly, and I know I tend to say quite a lot, but let's see just how we're doing with listening and with remembering. Okay, so we spoke about, when we get there, one of the things that we first spoke about is what is coding? And let me hear from you guys who remembers. I think Susie, our doggy, does. Susie, I like that. That's a good name for a dog. Very, very cool. So we've got twin dogs. Maybe they'll both make an appearance during this week. We've got Dennis and we've got Susie. Okay. So if Susie is wondering, and if we're wondering, what is coding? What do you think? What would you say? What is coding? Can anyone remember what is coding or what coding is? I see Kaylee remembers. Awesome. Let's hear. Kaylee, do you remember what is coding? What would you say?
Coding is a language that computers can understand.
Oh, absolutely beautiful. Absolutely brilliant. It's a way for us to talk to computers. Coding is speaking a computer's language. And computers speak very, very interesting languages that all come down to one language, which is just ones and zeros. We're not going to speak too much about those ones and zeros, or maybe we will a little bit later this week. We'll see if you guys are very interested in that, and then we will. A lot of ones and zeros called binary. We need to know how to speak that binary to a computer, and that's what coding is. That's how we give instructions to a computer. And we've said, why should we learn coding? We thought about, hey, well, what are some of the things that we can do with coding? Well, we've said that we could use it maybe to help with cleaning up the oceans and cleaning up the land and helping other people. We've said we can also do really fun things with it, like make and play games, make music. I really like that one. Controlling and making robots. We even saw this awesome robot from Boston Dynamics do a dance. Very, very cool. And I asked you the big question of what will you do with your coding powers? Will you use your powers for good, or will you use them for something selfish? I don't know, what's something superheroes here, and you're going to use this to help lots and lots of people. And then I've given you the big challenge of making a robot. So as you make a robot, whatever you make it out of, this could be out of this page that I've sent you in the chat. It could be using materials and things that you found around the house. It could be out of building blocks. It could be on a computer. Whatever it might be, then please do go ahead and make that robot, and please do send it on to me. All right, before we say goodbye, And we hope to see, well, I know that we will see you tomorrow. Before we get onto that, I do just want to ask, does anybody have anything else that they would like to ask, check in about, or say before we leave? Anything else? Okay, then let's do one last get up and do a superhero pose together before we say bye-bye for now. And remember, you can always invite your friends along who are at your school. And maybe they're just going to be sitting bored at home, especially at this time when mom and dad are still waking up. Then you can send them on to us. And I think we'll have some great ideas and great ways that we can use coding to make the world a better place together. Okay, so everyone stand up on your feet. No, I know that you don't think I can see you. I can't, but just stand up and let's see your best superhero pose. Cha! And another superhero pose. Cha! And one more. Cha-cha! Okay, I hope that you had some absolutely awesome superhero poses. Maybe you want to make a robot that will help you with knowing more superhero poses. I don't know. That's up to you. Either way, I hope to, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you make, what you create, and how you use that to make Africa and the world a better place. So for today, for this morning, thank you so much for stopping in and chatting. I've really enjoyed this so far. I'm looking forward to getting to know you guys more, hearing from you, seeing what you make. Thank you very much, and goodbye.